Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger and my friends. Today I would like to talk Mortal Kombat 12 and just my general hopes and fears for the game. So in case you're somehow unaware, if you missed the news, yes, Mortal Kombat 12 is real, despite some stubborn people's efforts to refuse to believe in it. If you haven't heard it, here's the Warner Brothers Investors Conference call where it was unofficially announced.
And there's lots more to come.
That's what my
including the
estimate
highly
was.
anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 and Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Games also set for release this year with ambitious launch projections.
So yes, it is Mortal Kombat 12 and it's coming out this year. Now, of course, if you subscribe to the channel, you already knew that because I told you guys it was coming out this year months ago. Not to pat myself on the back too hard here, but if you subscribe to the channel, you're going to be more informed what's going on in the FGC than the average Joe. So that said, Mortal Kombat 12. I put a lot of time into Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 9 and every single Mortal Kombat because I love Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is very near and dear to me. And because I'm old, it has been since the very first game. And I want to talk about what I would like to see out of Mortal Kombat 12. Mortal Kombat 11, I'm not going to be one of those guys going to tell you it's a bad game, because it is not a bad game, but Mortal Kombat 11 has some flaws. It's very few people's favorite Mortal Kombat, let's put it that way. I know, especially when it comes to the end of service, the end of updating and keeping the game going, there was some issues behind the scenes, sure, but I want Mortal Kombat 12 now. All that stuff's done with. I want it to be the best possible game it can be. And some of the things I would like to see, I think, would help make it the best game it could be. So let's talk about it. And the first thing I want to talk about is the variation system. So the variation system started in Mortal Kombat X, and it was a worthy experiment. Lots of characters, there was the dead variation. Some characters, it was 2 dead variations, right? And for a few blessed characters, all 3 variations were viable. But the thing is, I don't think I'll find a single person here to argue me on this one, that the variation system in Mortal Kombat 11 compared to Mortal Kombat X was strictly worse. When the game was new, we had all sorts of moves to customize our characters with, right? Except the vast majority of them were not allowed in competitive play. And for a lot of the pre-made variations that we were allowed to use for competitive play, we would look at effectively, okay, here's a good move, and here's a move that might as well be garbage, like it weighs us down. Like Shang Tsung. The ground fireball's amazing. The double EX fireball, worthless. Who cares? It was a wasted slot. And eventually, yes, we could create our own custom variations, but once again, then it just became a thing of, for a lot of characters, there's only one right answer, and therefore if there's only one right answer, then why are we bothering with variations to begin with? So to that point, I would like to see one of 2 things. Either just get rid of variations. Like all these moves you will lock away behind the variations, just give it to the character as a base moveset. Then every character has a very large and unique moveset, and every character is that much more of a full and complete character. We don't need the variations. Or, that said, variations, go back to how it was in MKX. Sure, we might have a dead variation or 2 for every character, but it was implemented so much better than it was in Mortal Kombat 11. If you want to tear me apart in the comments, go ahead, I guess, but that's basically where I'm at right now. It was a worthy experiment in Mortal Kombat X, it got worse in MK11, and at this point, if it goes away, I won't miss it. Another thing now to talk about is the roster. Now, I know every single game we go back to the old, let's do Armageddon again, right? The thing with Armageddon is, it was 62 characters, and the reason we got the 62 is we cut a lot of corners from MK Deception, right? Like a lot of movesets just got spread around, all that kind of stuff. We can't do that again. It's too expensive, and obviously it'd be a lot more than 62 characters now with so many characters added since then. All I can really say is it looks like we're doing the reboot again. So I don't know if we're starting at the Mortal Kombat 1 tournament, just this time Liu Kang is in the Raiden role or what, who knows. But focus on the core cast, focus on the characters that make you the money. That is to say, generally speaking, the Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 characters. And obviously we'll have some new characters, right? We always have new characters, so put those guys in. I guess it's just a matter of who do you want to focus on to bring in outside of the core cast, right? Someone like Garrus. Garrus in Mortal Kombat 11, I think he more than proved his worth. Garrus is the best new character in Mortal Kombat 11, straight up. In terms of appearance, move set, importance to the plot, he's got it all. I think he's a worthy addition to return. Someone like Collector, as someone who's one of the very few Collector fans, he doesn't have to return, you know? It hurts. I would like to see him in Mortal Kombat 12, but I realize there's more important characters to put out there. The one thing I want to talk about here is something I feel is long coming in fighting games in general, and that is guests returning. Mortal Kombat has had more guests in its franchise than anybody else, and you know what? A lot of those guest characters are really, really, really good. How about people like Predator and Jason? They're more than just good guest characters that were fun to have in the game. They were great characters. They were very fun. They didn't play like anyone else. They were just a blast to actually play. And when they left, you know, they didn't return to Mortal Kombat 11, their movesets were gone to the wind. And, you know, doing the whole horror movie thing with the guests and all that, we're kind of running near the bottom of the barrel anyways. So if it was between, you know, some like Z-list horror character or the Predator returning, give me the Predator every day of the week. Also, speaking on the roster, just some of the work on Mortal Kombat 11 has been really incredible. And to have a bigger roster, one of the things you can do is kind of reuse assets. And the assets in Mortal Kombat 11 are top notch. Like, say if Shang Tsung's in the game again, right? Do you want some remade Shang Tsung, or do you want the Kerry Tagawa Mortal Kombat movie Shang Tsung? I'm pretty sure you want the original big deal, right? Kerry Tagawa breathed so much life into the character that I can't imagine ever going back to just some generic Shang Tsung. Like, sure, up-res the textures, give them new costumes, all that kind of stuff, but if I saw the same models again with, you know, some slightly varied looks, I wouldn't complain. Mortal Kombat 11 looks great. And the more you reuse, you can save those assets, you can put that manpower somewhere else to actually make some new characters. Like, hey, how about Nightwolf? We do know in his ending that there can be Lady Nightwolves as well. So say we make a Lady Nightwolf instead, obviously, so we have to get a new face model, all that kind of stuff. David Midthunder was the face model for Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat 11, so how about we get his daughter, Amber Midthunder? Amber was the main character of the film Prey. So she's got some experience with the whole Native American warrior thing. Then boom, we have Predator back in the game as well. We both give them Prey skins, $1 million DLC profit. Done. Easy. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but it's a neat idea, right? But yeah, if you want the bigger roster, the best way to get the bigger roster is to save on a lot of work on textures and models and all that kind of stuff. And considering Mortal Kombat 11 has some of the best period in gaming, let alone just fighting games, I wouldn't be too broken up if some assets get reused just so we can get a lot more new stuff. Another thing I would like to see is just the Krypt mode. I feel like MK11 almost got where it wanted to be. It's a strong evolution from what it was in MKX, but I also feel like it wasn't fully complete. Like the adventure / puzzle aspect of it, I thought was well done for what was there, but it also felt very short. And the only thing that really extended it at all in any real way was the horrible grind for heads. I wasted so much of my life doing that, but I'm a completionist, so I had to get it done. I wish it was more just actual content there versus just the grind to artificially extend it. Like ideally, instead of the Krypt, we just get Conquest mode again. If you're unaware what Conquest mode is from the older games, it's effectively like a semi-open world RPG. I understand realistically that might be a bit much, although, you know, hey, let's reach for the stars, right? But yeah, I would just like to see a much more filled out, complete Conquest mode that feels like something more core to the game rather than just a diversion with a lot of grinding. Now, all that out of the way, let's talk brass tacks here. Let's talk gameplay, because, you know, that's the reason why we're here in the end, right? And Mortal Kombat 11 did a lot of things right, and it also did some things very, very wrong. So let's talk about some of the right things. I absolutely 100% want to see Crushing Blows return in Mortal Kombat 12. Crushing Blows are straight up just good game design because it added a lot of depth to the characters and a lot of layers to the mind games. Like Sub-Zero, okay, I just ate forward 4. Now, is there going to be a second forward 4? Because that's the Crushing Blow 2 in a row, right? Effectively, one move now dictates the conversation of the game. I ate the first forward 4. Now, okay, the whole game for the next 5, 6, 7 seconds is going to be, is there going to be a second forward 4 coming my way? Using Sub-Zero as an example again, let's talk about slides. So, rando slide from Sub-Zero, it's a threat in every single game, right? But what made it extra a threat here in Mortal Kombat 11 was the third one, because your third EX slide is the Crushing Blow, right? So at the start of a game, it's whatever, I'll eat a random slide, it's going to happen. But then after the third one, you really start having to watch out. And it's a layer of depth brought only because the crushing blow is there. Say some characters with throws, right? If you eat the first throw, then you have to be really careful on the tech, right? You can't miss the tech or you're going to get the crushing blow on the throw. Lots of characters have crushing blows based off of, certain situations that inform their game plan because they want to aim for those crushing blow requirements. And of course, you only get the one, right? So it's a question of, do I do it now or save it for later? Just on basically every level possible, the crushing blow is one of the better mechanics of Mortal Kombat 11. It gives you things to aim for as a player and things to try to avoid or counterplay as a player, which all builds into the fighting game experience, and that's why we're all here. So yeah, crushing blows, I would love for them to return. What I absolutely want to see gone forever, though, is breakaways. Breakaways are awful, awful, awful. Like on a base level, the breakaway, it's just basically the combo breaker, right? So one, why not just use the combo breaker? Because it's been proven effective. That's why we've used it for so many games. But when you get a lot of understanding on how a lot of characters work, on how their combo structure and combo theory works, the breakaway becomes not a combo breaker, but it becomes your combo. Like take a basic Aaron Black B&B combo, right? Okay, if you hit me at the launch point here, this is usually where normally you'd break away, and he can try to uppercut you or something, but whatever. The real issue is, though, if I know your combo structure and I know your character, I can learn when's the right time to break away. And right here, exact same combo, if I break away at that point, your combo became my combo. So it's not just a breaker. It's so much more insidious. If you just pay attention to a lot of characters and you just put in a minimum time elapsing, you can find everyone's basic B&B structures of their combos, find the right point to break away, and then you can turn their combo into your combo almost every single time. And there's little that can be done to defend against it other than just dropping your combo on purpose. Breakaway sucks. Breakaway is not fun. All we need to do is just go back to the old way, how it's been done before. Give us a regular combo breaker. Sure, it's boring in a way, I guess, but it's proven effective. Let's just go back to it. Make it cost meter like 9 and X, or go back to stocks like the 3D era games, however you want to do it. Let's just do it. Combo breakers, proven effective. Let's go back to it. Another thing I would like to see return from older Mortal Kombat games is the first hit bonus. So, like say MKX or MK9, you get the first hit, you get a meter. Simple as that. And I think that adds a lot of depth to the game. I actually made a whole video describing my thoughts on first hit bonus a few months ago. It's admittedly a very simple mechanic, but I think it's a fantastic one because it heavily informs those first few seconds of round one, because having a meter up on the enemy in MK9 or MKX is a huge deal at the start, because I either have a combo breaker out of the gate because I have 2 meters, therefore your first real hit in effect doesn't matter, or if my first real hit happens before you get 2 meters, I can do some sort of like 2-bar 45 to 50% damage combo and you have no recourse against it. I think it is a fantastic mechanic and it should return. Now granted, with the Mortal Kombat 11 style of meter, with the regenerating meters, it doesn't really have a place. And I actually don't mind how the meters were done in MK11. They're simplistic compared to other fighters, but I think it works. I think it's fine. It's not a bad thing. So maybe if it's not just meter, I would like to see some sort of reward for the first hit. Just not first hit props like it is in MK11. And of course, there's going to be a lot of new stuff, right? It's a new game. There'll be new mechanics, new things. And we'll have to wait and see how it goes, because obviously it's going to inform the game. I just hope there's more thought and care put into it than how it was in MK11. Like MK11, there's a lot of very obvious things that just kind of flew under the radar, like the myriad of hitbox and hurtbox issues, which persisted for years, frankly, and some of the issues never got resolved. Basically, I don't know. I just hope they have taken their time to make it the best game it can be. And finally, just for some minor quibbles, online, I would like to see a more quote-unquote proper ranked system. I don't mind the idea of the season-based system, but a season a month effectively, that's too much too fast. Like if it was like every 6 months or something, I'd much more buy into that. But I'd much rather see something like Tekken or Street Fighter with proper rankings, all that kind of stuff. You can still tie rewards to ranks, all that kind of stuff, or just general performance, or goals, or quests, or whatever. But for my money, I just didn't find the season model very enjoyable in MK11. Another minor quibble, whatever they call supers this time around, X-rays, fatal blows, whatever, they're all too long. They're always too long. Every game, they're always too long. They all need to be like one hit shorter than they are. Like, prime example here, a second hit, and now we go for a third hit, and now we go for a fourth hit. They're all one hit too long. They all should be shorter than what they are. I like them. I like the big cinematic super. I'm a fan of it. But it interrupts game flow too much. They're always just too long in the animation. Like, God bless the people, the animators, they're putting their heart into it, but it just ruins game flow too much. Short and sweet is the way to do it. I don't want to have enough time to be able to put down my controller, take a drink, put the drink down, grab my controller, and still wait for the rest of the animation. So please, a little bit of brevity. And the last thing I would like to talk about, because this video is already getting a little long here, is the patch culture of the game. So Mortal Kombat X was very infamously panned for too many patches, too big patches. The game was patched all the time, and the game balance shifted wildly multiple times every year. And they responded to that with Mortal Kombat 11, but I feel like they responded to that in the exact wrong way. Because instead of too many patches, there was too few patches, and the patches that were there didn't do enough, straight up. Some characters eventually, like Kotal Kahn, you can see this is Evo Grand Finals here. Kotal Kahn eventually went from like absolute garbage, worst character in the game, bottom tier, to Evo Grand Final. So he eventually made it. But most characters, the changes they got are so minor, so inconsequential, especially for greater game balance overall. It was just very ineffective and frustrating over the years. If you give me an option of too many patches for Mortal Kombat X and not enough patches, and not enough impact on the patches for Mortal Kombat 11, I will take MKX every day out of the week, every single time. Now, I'm not saying necessarily go back to that, but don't be afraid to make changes. And don't be afraid to put out another patch if something's obviously wrong or obviously not working. We did too many patches, we did too little patches, and all I can say is too little patches is much more frustrating than too many patches. I don't want to see major bugs or major gameplay issues persist for like 6+ months again. And that's some of my thoughts on the matter. Honestly, this is something I could speak for hours and hours and hours about, because once again, Mortal Kombat is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to put a whole jillion hours into Mortal Kombat 12 like I have for every other Mortal Kombat. Honestly, these are just some thoughts off the top of my head. I am incredibly excited for Mortal Kombat 12, and especially because it's coming out this year, and so is Street Fighter 6, this makes it basically the single biggest year for fighting games in a very, very long time, because the two biggest franchises are putting out their mainline games. So all that said, I would love to know what you guys think about some of the stuff I said. Please post in the comments below. I know some things make sense, maybe some things are going to be a little divisive, but still. And I'd also like to know what you guys think. What you guys want to see out of Mortal Kombat 12? Because I know we all got some crazy ideas. That said though, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And when the time comes, go out and play some Mortal Kombat.